Well, actually, if you look at the stage of development, there's a number of phases. You start very early, and it takes years and years and years through the entire, let's say, development of youth until you come into senior football. And then again, even the most talented, they need a couple years, need the respective competition in order to develop into a real top player. If you look at football, there's not always top-class players. There's a number of average players who make professional teams, even national teams, who are very useful players. You don't have only Messis and then Suarez and Fabregas and then Özil or whatever you may name here. Huh? So there's also the average but very useful player for a team. I think professional football has a lot developed, in particular with all the technology. Training looks a little bit different, despite all the let's say, the essence of training is the same. You are working on tactics, you're working on individual skill, of course you work on physical fitness, that's for sure, but there's a lot of technical support now with the computer analysis, etc. So that has changed a lot. In a way, it helps you as a coach, because in the old days you had to demonstrate, you have to talk to players. Now you can visualize, you can show it, and of course that underlines your idea and what you think you have to pass on to the players. No, I wouldn't say that. It depends on the individual coach. Some rely more on that. I'm more of the older school. I think still the work on the pitch, what you see and how you correct and how you guide players is important, and the technical aid is just an addition to it. So my main focus is still on the pitch, dealing directly with players, talking to them, guiding them. I think from my point of view that could never change, because what is played on the field is not too scientific. It is emotional, it's based on experience, because players on the pitch, they have to know where to go, when to show for the ball, when to go deep, when to push over, and there's no computer that will help them in the game. So you have all the demands from the game you have to transfer into training and then back to the game as well. I think that is probably the biggest obstacle, because you don't see yourself. The distance from me to you is that I can observe you, your behavior, the way you present yourself, but I cannot see how I behave, how I, let's say, have an impact on other people, because the distance to me, there is no distance. But the distance to watch or to judge somebody else, of course, is given, because I can observe you, I can see the way you deal with people, you do your job, and that is a lot easier. And therefore, if you think you are without any mistake, you know everything, that is the first mistake you can make. It is a good mix. And you see, if you are just, let's say, rational, then it's okay. But you also have to show emotions. So in order to inspire, in order to motivate. If I'm just in a very, let's say, emotionless tone, I talk to you, listen, you have to do that, and you have to do that, and that is your job. I think it's not ideal. But if I tell you, I say, listen, that is your job, and today we play against this team. If you do that and that and that, you're going to be better than your opponent. We're going to open our game and we come to a conclusion or whatever. You see, that is what makes it. You have to show your emotions, controlled of course, but in order to motivate and to inspire It's not good enough just to explain.